this doesn't feel big at all. When I was doing research on this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is genius. This is like the one thing that when I saw it had this feature, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is genius. All right, I'm really excited about this video because in this video, we're gonna take you on a tour of the all new Winnebago 24T. Now here's the deal. We actually haven't seen this in person yet. This is like our first glance. So we're gonna give you kind of some first impressions, but also talk about some of the features that this thing has because we've been researching it online. We've been thinking more towards like smaller, nimble as we look towards that empty nester stage of life that we're not quite there yet, but it is coming. So we're starting the research now. We're gonna take you along. This thing has some really cool features, solves some really big problems for RVers. We're gonna talk about some of those problems that it solves, some of the tech that it has that makes it just so amazing. So one of the things that I do wanna point out first thing is that a lot of these like Class C type RVs, traditionally, these end caps have been prone to things like leaks. On this particular one, it is a complete one-piece, seamless front cap, which then means you're not gonna have potential leaks down the road. So that's a pretty cool feature that this thing has. So let's walk around the side here and see what else we got. So we've got just the one slide out here. So that's gonna give us some more room on the inside. We'll check that out in just a few minutes, but let's see if we can come back here. So there's supposed to be like a garage. When it comes to transporting our e-bikes, like literally that has been a pain point. So this is gonna have a garage, I guess. See, this is our first impression. We're taking you along with us. Should be in here. Oh my gosh, look at this. There's two e-bikes in here.
Whoa.
I know. Think about all of the storage options. I mean, whether it's e-bikes or other items, this is huge. Now here's the other thing. This whole garage space is also heated. So if you do need to put something in here that needs like any sort of temperature control, as far as it can't like get cold or freezing, this is temperature controlled too. That is so stinking cool. And you've got, yep, multiple access points. Let's see, what does this do? Does this come up, I imagine? Oh yeah, look at that. Lots of different ways to access the storage. That is like so amazing. Like it solves such a big problem. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then let's see here. We've got some ports here for electrical stuff. So some charging ports and everything. Oh, and then there's a 110 outlet back here too. So you can plug stuff in that needs to be plugged in. Just ingenious. So this rear garage actually has 3 like access points. So that makes it super handy to be able to really put whatever you need to in here because you got 3 different ways to get in and out. All right, so here we've got just some exterior storage, which this is kind of cool because like really what you can tell they're doing is they're making use of all of the space. So yeah, it's a little odd shaped, but it's gonna be odd shaped because they're not gonna leave out like any gaps, which that's something that drives us crazy is when RV manufacturers don't make use of all the space. So it's kind of cool where you can tell that they've really done that here. And the door is very secure. So here's another fun little feature is like these little side running boards have these metal areas. I don't know what you want to really call it, but that way if you want to say like tie out to your dog, we've had that with Alaska so many times where it's like, okay, where can we like clip him in or whatever so that he sticks around? Pretty cool little feature. And then over here, you've got a propane quick connect. Now I can't tell you how handy these things are. We actually had to install these ourselves on our RV, but this is so handy to be able to hook up your Blackstone grill, your fire pit, whatever that you want to enjoy that needs those propane hookups outside. So let's go ahead and head inside because this is where I get so excited about some of these interior features, plus some really cool tech that I want to show you guys. Let's go in. So now here's the thing, like first impressions, right? Like one of the things that I'm noticing first off is actually like this flooring where there's no carpet, but it's also not like that wood look. It's just like, it's really durable. Like here's what I'm seeing just from an RVer's perspective, right? Is that this is actually gonna be pretty easy to keep clean. So whether you're sweeping it out or just mopping it or whatever, that's gonna be pretty easy to keep this flooring clean. Now here's the cool thing, very small footprint on this thing. Right? It's only 25 feet long-ish, give or take. From a space perspective, it feels really, really roomy in here. Now you've got this like theater seating right here. You've got your TV up here, so really easy to just sit down and watch some TV if that's what you're wanting to do as you relax. This is like super nice. They call it the Higgy sofa. Anyway, it just feels nice. Have you ever sat in something you're like, this just feels high end? That's how this is feeling right now. But now here's one of the things that kind of gets me excited here is that you might be looking at this thinking, where am I supposed to sleep? Well, this actually has a Murphy bed right here that then folds down over the top of this couch. So this would spin out of the way. This is gonna fold down, and then with a touch of a button, this Murphy bed is going to come down. This is a queen size Murphy bed. But here's what I really like about this. You can actually still fold down the bed and sleep with this slide all the way in. Now from a stealth camping or overnight camping parking lot situation, that is huge to be able to do that and to be able to access that bed even with this slide in. And then because of just space, it folds up out of the way during the daytime so that you've got all of this space to be able to move around in the RV. So we just ran into our good friends, Howard and Caitlin from New State Nomads, and they are gonna show us how to use the bed, since we don't know how to use the bed, but they are actually more familiar with this particular unit than we are.
Well, I'll show you first to recline this. So it's a near flat recline. So there's a little tiny spot here with 2 buttons. So if you push this.
Oh, look at that.
And that's how you sleep. That's how you sleep in the RV. No. So then if you push the other button. When you're in trouble. Yeah, when you're in trouble, right. Well, they'll crush you because the bed's up. So, all right. So then to make the bed, lower this, lower this, lower this. And then these are magnetic. Okay, and then there's a button over here, button for the bed. And you just push the button. Whoa. And that's it. Yeah, so it's a 2-part, but it's a queen. So it's an RV queen, so it is a short queen, but very comfortable. And Winnebago actually makes their own mattresses. So this is the Wind Sleep system. So it's multiple layers of different memory foam. So it's meant to be very, very comfortable, and you don't need like a topper or anything like that for it. So, yeah, and then when you're done, you just do the opposite. You just raise it back up. I like to give it a hand because of the motor. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, thanks for the education.
Absolutely.
All right, so here's one thing that I'm super excited about is you've got a couple of different options when it comes to cooking. So first of all, you do have a microwave convection oven combo. People, I love this particular combo. This is what we have. We actually ditched our whole propane stove because if you have a convection oven, that's all you really need to like bake anything that you would bake in a traditional oven. And then you've got 2 options here. So you've got an induction cooktop. So if you're hooked up to shore power, you're not worried about power management. The induction cooktop is so great to have just from a heat perspective where it doesn't put a lot of heat into your RV, but you have an option for propane as well. So you can cook either or you can do both if you need to have both going at the same time. So I love that you can really have options when it comes to cooking in this little galley area. And then of course you've got your sink over here, pretty big sink actually to be able to do dishes or what have you. And then I like the counter space here too, so that you can put like a dish rack here or whatever for just letting your dishes dry after that you have washed them. And then look, extra counter space, because in an RV, we all love that extra counter space. 2 latches there. Don't pinch your fingers. Look at this. Oh, I love that. Because it's nice and compact, right? It's like next to the fridge. You've got lots of like pantry space here for like food or whatever that you've got going on there. And then freezer, fridge. It's on. It's kind of hot here today. I'm like, just stand here and cool off for a minute. So you've got this Norcold unit here. So real quick, let's talk about some of the storage on here because I was just looking at this even more with so much storage. So you've got storage underneath of this stove area, 3 drawers that are down here. You've got this big compartment up here. I mean, this is cavernous, like seriously, huge storage here. And then you've got like extra little pieces of storage. So like where you're down here under the table, you've got extra storage spaces here. The other thing that I love is that Winnebago has done where you've got USB outlets throughout this thing that again, help you use that 12-volt power versus having to use the 110. So pretty much next to all of the outlets, you also have options for USB plugins as well, so that you can utilize both of those types of power systems. All right, in just a few minutes, I'm gonna show you one of the features that when I was doing research on this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is genius. But before we get there, this is something else that is amazing and solves a bunch of problems. So you have got the Winnebago Connect system that is in this thing. Now this is like command central here. So you can literally control everything from this touch screen here. Your lighting, your temperature controls. You can start your generator right through here. You can hook Bluetooth up to your phone and hook it up right through here. Now here's where this, for me as an RVer, solves a huge problem because in our RV, we've had to add all of these smart technology things in kind of after the fact to be able to do what we want as far as remotely monitoring the interior temperature of the vehicle so that we know our pets are safe when we're away, or do things like get pet monitors to be able to know that the interior temperature of the RV is at a safe level while we're gone. But with this is like everything built into one system where you can do it all remotely. It's just like some of the best technology ever. So this Winnebago Connect, we'll put a link in the description below where you can read more about all of the different features that it has, because that could be a whole video in and of itself. But we want to talk about some more things that are in this here. So before that, I talk about the thing that I think is just amazing. Let's go back to the bathroom area here real fast. And let's look at what we've got going on here. This closet area is super nice as far as you've got lots of space that is here. Now, here's the other thing is that unlike a lot of vehicles where you can't really access this when the slide's in, this is all accessible with the slide in. So you've got kind of like wardrobe area on this side, and then you've got like some dresser type space on this side. So things that don't really fit on shelves folded. You've got some drawer space for that here. You've got cabinet over here. This toilet is actually porcelain, so it feels more like home versus an RV toilet. Now here's a really cool thing too with the shower in here. You could actually sit down if you needed to sit down, shave your legs, whatever. For somebody like me who's taller, I still totally fit in here. Now with this skylight here, there is this bar here, which obviously you could take this out, but with this is nice to be able to either, one, use this as additional wardrobe space to hang clothes, or two, be able to hang up things like towels and stuff like that that just need a spot to dry, but you don't want to like dripping on your floor or whatever. So very nice, spacious shower for a small RV. Like that's one thing that you have to keep remembering is that this is a really super small footprint. This is something that's quick, it's nimble. You're gonna be able to fit this into most any of your national park campsites, things like that. And so for a small RV, these types of spacious features are just amazing. All right, let's go up front. Boy, my foot's squeaking in the shower. I was just looking at this. Okay, so here's the thing, is that this up here, this is optional. So you can do either optional bed or you can do optional storage. So really whatever fits your situation best. If you are in that stage of life where maybe you want to bring some guests, maybe some grandkids, having this is actually sleeping space can be super, super helpful. I was just looking at this little reading light because I know our kids are always looking for the reading lights. And then you've got some more power outlets that are up here as well too. So plenty of option if you do want this as sleeping space, but you're going to double it as storage when it's not in use for sleeping. You can keep your devices plugged in up here with either 12-volt power or your traditional 110 power too, which we've talked about this in a lot of our videos before. But when you can go with 12-volt, there's a power savings when you're camping off grid in not depleting your batteries because of the power loss that happens when you have to invert. But that is another video for another day. All right. Let's come down in this cockpit area. So here's the beautiful thing about this. So this has a rear view mirror. Why would it have a rear view mirror, you ask? You can't see anything behind you. That's ridiculous, but it's not. This is the cool thing. This rear view mirror is actually your rear camera. So that way you can see what is going on behind you, but it's built in to the rear view mirror. This is like the one thing that when I saw it had this feature, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is genius, because when you are driving this type of vehicle and it feels more like a van front, you're used to having that rear view mirror. So you essentially do have that rear view mirror. You can see what's behind you because of the camera that's in the back, and it's all integrated into this mirror, which is just genius. And then you've got your GPS here so that you can use this for your GPS versus using your phone or some other device that then when you're trying to either take a phone call or something like that, then you lose your GPS. So this is super comfortable. It does feel very much like I would be driving a van. So for those of you that maybe are like a little bit nervous about driving something so big, this doesn't feel big at all. I like it a lot. Overall, especially with this Winnebago Connect system, where literally you can put your slide out with your phone. You can turn on your generator with your phone or from the touch screen right here. This is like solving huge problems for RVers. And I would definitely say that as we are coming into the empty nester phase of life, this is probably something that we would definitely consider. And Ben, you're fogging up the mirror back there. What's going on with that? Look at that. Key on.
What's that?
You can see it.
Oh, cool.
I know. Do you see how foggy it is?
See what?
Oh, now we got music.
Okay. It's getting hot in here.
It's just a humid day. We'll have a ton of information in the description below for you where you can learn more, research more, learn about Winnebago Connect, and a huge thanks to Winnebago for sponsoring this video. So if we don't see you out on the road or around the campground, we'll catch you in the next video.